Tonight, a shooting at a church in Texas leaves 26 dead.
And the U.S. military conducts airstrikes against the Islamic State in Somalia for the first time.
And we give you an update on Cougar sports. Murrow News 8 starts now.
From Studio B on the campus of Washington State University, this is Pullman's only nightly newscast. This is Murrow News 8.
Good evening, I'm Brittany McIntosh.
And I'm Derek Baker. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
26 people are dead and 20 more injured after a gunman went into a church in Sutherland Springs, Texas and began shooting. The victim's age ranged from 18 months to 72 years old. The suspected shooter fled the church after the massacre and was later found dead in his car. According to authorities, the gunman had domestic problems and was arrested for assault in 2012 and served a year in prison. His mother-in-law attended the church he targeted yesterday. This is the largest modern mass shooting in Texas history.
Last week, we told you about a shooting that injured 2 people just off the WSU campus. Police are now saying gang violence may have played a role in that shooting. Police are investigating the possibility that it was gang-related from out of the area. The victims, ages 17 and 19, were released from Pullman Regional Hospital, and neither are WSU students. Former Baskin-Robbins owner Dennis Cox, a 59-year-old from Pullman, received a sentence of 4 years in prison after pleading guilty to 3 charges of child sexual assault Friday. Police charged Cox in July for child rape and molestation. The victims reported the sexual abuse taking place at the local shop, Cox's home, and his cabin. Cox must pay an $800 fine and register as a sex offender.
WSU football finished off their season at home undefeated after beating Stanford 24-21 Saturday afternoon. The Cougars played 7 games at Martin Stadium this year and won all 7 games. This is the first time the Cougars have been undefeated at home in program history. The Cougars have 2 more games left on their schedule, both the University of Utah and the University of Washington. WSU football victory wasn't the only thing students and their dads got to do over the weekend. Zach Gardner shows us how a club at WSU gives Cougar families a weekend to remember.
At the Webster Building on this Cougar Football Saturday, and that's not the only thing that's falling.
It's the 13th annual pumpkin drive. People of all ages gather around to see the spectacle put on by the Physics and Astronomy Club. While some come for the carnage below, the event is intended to educate.
I think it's important to communicate science to the public, get rid of misconceptions, and I think it's part of my duty as a scientist to educate people.
And what better way to do that than by dropping pumpkins out of a 12-story building?
It's not every day that you can really visualize how much the force of gravity, how effective it is.
Dropping over 100 pumpkins can leave quite a mess, but a mess volunteers say is worth the cleanup.
Worth the price of admission?
Oh, definitely.
Definitely worth it?
Hands down, worth it, every time. Obviously the crowd enjoyed it.
Yeah.
They were hollering the whole time. Dropping the pumpkins, great experience.
Zach Garner, Murrow News 8.
Winter is coming, and November marks a time for many to prepare their snow coats. But for some, it is a time to rock their mustaches for a good cause. As Hafiq Hisham shows, Washington State University is launching November with a rocking 80s twist.
At the University Recreational Center, event participants scaled the climbing wall as 80s music blares throughout. On the ground below, staff offer wigs and fake tattoos for the occasion.
The correlation between men's health or the Movember movement and the 80s might not seem like it's there. Focus on getting folks' attention through to the climbing wall and to the rest of the recreation facility is really how we're kicking things off.
University Recreation, or the UREX Rock the Rock event, is the first in support of Movember, a movement that challenges men to grow facial hair as a way to spread awareness of men's health-related issues, including prostate and testicular cancer, mental health, and suicide prevention.
Women are seen as weaker, and it's oh, you're sick, you should go see a doctor. Or if a man is sick, he's probably told to oh, you're fine, just don't, you'll be fine eventually.
Rock climbing is not only a physical sport, it's a mental one too, as it requires a lot of focus to determine which ledges are best to grab and step on for any given color-coded path. It's only fitting then that Rock the Rock is used to spark a conversation of men's physical and mental well-being.
UREC Movember events will end on Thursday, while Mo Monday's fitness classes are available every Monday of the month. Afiq Hisham, Murrow News 8.
After the break, the United States military conducted airstrikes against the extremist group of Al-Shabaab.
And the king of Saudi Arabia is imprisoning several of his princes.
Plus, Red Cross workers are being investigated after $6 million was believed to be stolen from the organization.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up? Oh, we finally bought a place. Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Is
it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
The Muslim Association here at Washington State University hosted Muslim activist Anila Azali Friday to discuss Islamophobia and the media portrayal of Muslims in America. Azali, a Harvard graduate, left her law career 4 years ago to educate people on Muslim Americans. Throughout her talk, she says Islamophobia cannot be pinned on one person and wants to change the perception of Muslims in America. The United States military conducted 2 airstrikes against the Islamic State group fighters in Somalia. U.S. command said that the strike may have killed top leaders of the Al-Shabaab terrorist group, but cannot be confirmed yet. The U.S. Africa Command said the strikes killed several terrorists, with the first strike carried out around midnight and the second later Friday morning.
On Saturday, Saudi King Salman removed one of the royal family's most prominent members as head of the National Guard. King Salman had already detained 11 princes, 4 current ministers, and tens of former ministers. Saudi nationals have complained about the corruption in government and public funds abused by the power of the people. Moving over to Spain, the old Catalan leader Charles Puigdemont was taken into custody in Belgium. 5 Catalan politicians had a warrant out for their arrest due to their actions with the declaration of Catalonia's independence. Puigdemont and others fled to Belgium in the aftermath, attempting to avoid charges of rebellion, sedition, disuse of public funds, disobedience, and breach of trust relating to Catalan's independence campaign.
Red Cross workers are being charged with fraud after $6 million meant to fight the deadly Ebola outbreak in West Africa was stolen. This follows an internal investigation of how the organization handled $124 million during the 2014-2016 epidemic that killed more than 11,000 people. Red Cross plans to send auditors with the emergency operations team, as well as waive all legal immunities to ensure any staff involved are held accountable. The temperature continues to drop below freezing overnight.
We can even see some snow expecting this weekend. Stella will give you your 5-day forecast after the break. Okay, they did not change it.
Good one, son.
Last summer, my new dad took me on vacation. First, we went deep sea fishing. Wow!
I'm so proud of you, son.
And then we went on Thunder Shark. That was awesome! Let's go again. 3 times. I gotta say, it was pretty cool.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Oh, not again.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
Pullman had its first snowfall over the weekend. And with 3-day weekend coming up, let's see if there's time to squeeze in one more outdoor adventure. Stella, how's that looking?
That's right, Brittany. So I think we had our first snowfall here in Pullman over the weekend, but that snow did leave with our fathers as well. As you can see, today we had temperatures at about 28 degrees with slight gusts at 4 miles per hour. And moving on to tomorrow's forecast, you can definitely see here that in the morning we'll have freezing temperatures around 29 degrees, but that will warm up to a nice 39, and it will drop back down to 33 degrees in the evening. It will be partly cloudy all day. Moving over to the state map of Washington, you can see here in Seattle that we were at a warm 44 degrees, and the rainy city was not raining today for once. Moving down to the state capital, Olympia, was at 46, and Vancouver was the most south, and it was at 48 degrees. In Yakima, you can see it was partly cloudy with 43 degrees, and Wenatchee at 37. Moving over to Spokane and Pullman, Pullman did have the coldest temperatures here in the state at 34, and Spokane was at 36. Now for the 5-day forecast, you can see over here, Wednesday we have 46 degrees, and then it will go higher up to 47, which will kick off the 3-day weekend with some temperatures around the mid-40s. You can expect a little bit of rain on Friday, but I anticipate that to be leaving, and so we will be having partly cloudy weather throughout the 5-day forecast. And so you guys should definitely bundle up, maybe squeeze in one last adventure now that the temperature, it won't be snowing, and that's all over here in weather.
Thank you, Stella. When we come back, a Latin music icon shows the world time is nothing but just a number.
And Thor got Disney and moviegoers flexing after it smashed the box office.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
When you're out there, there's no telling what you'll find.
I see it, I see it. Oh, look at you.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
On Friday, Hollywood memorialized deceased Hollywood star musician Selena Quintanilla with a star on the Walk of Fame. Selena died more than 2 decades ago, but remains one of the most popular and influential Latina music icons. At the ceremony, Selena's sister Suzetta quoted her sister's words, saying, "The goal isn't to live forever, but to create something that will." Selena rose to fame among Mexican Americans and in Latin America with her signature blend of Tejano ballads and contemporary pop.
Disney movies registered another box office smash. Thor Ragnarok debuted with an estimated $121 million domestically and $427 million worldwide. October was a slow month for moviegoers, but Thor brings November in strong. Thor Ragnarok is the 3rd film in the series, and not too often does a movie series make more money than each of its previous releases. Bad Moms 2 landed in 2nd place behind Thor with just $20 million domestically, distinguishing Walt Disney from another movie-producing campaign. Thank you for watching. Join us every weeknight at 7 and 10 for Pullman's only nightly newscast.
Have a great night, and don't forget to follow us on Murrow News 8 on Twitter and Pullman. Good night.